What's up guys, Ryan here. Today we're going to talk about how to stand out on Etsy.com. Unlike Amazon, Etsy allows you to use a background image on your primary product thumbnails, where Amazon requires you to have that white background that we see so commonly. So if you're ever wondering why Printful, Printify, Gearbubble, to name a few, all these platforms spit out primary images with a white background, it's because they're optimized for Amazon, as they should be, because that's where most of the e-commerce sales take place. But Etsy's still a great opportunity that you should be taking advantage of. So let's look at ways that we can stand out on Etsy using some cool looking backgrounds. So before we start designing our own backgrounds, we should look at how we can streamline this process by leveraging what the different print-on-demand production partners can do for us. So different platforms will spit out different really nice looking mockups, including non-white background mockups for us, depending on what product type we choose. So let's start by looking at Printful. So I'm going to add a product, and one of the best products that they create mockups for are coffee mugs. So they only offer white coffee mugs, and real quick, I just wanted to show you how easily you can take a design that's optimized for a t-shirt and slap on a color overlay to get a dark version of it, which will contrast great against the white mug. So I've saved a black text version of Hogue Dealer. I will upload that and select it. So now Printful offers 11 ounce and 15 ounce mugs. What I like to do is duplicate on both sides and then resize. So that should look good on 11 ounce. Again, duplicate is automatically selected, so we only have to position it on one side. The other side will adjust automatically. And boom, so 11 ounce and 15 ounce are optimized. Now we click mockup view. When you do this, it will fire a process on their web servers that generates a bunch of really nice mockups for us with our design on a very realistic looking version of the mug. Alright, so now that it's done, there's 12 different versions of our product with this design on it. So some of the ones that might be a great candidate for your primary product image include the donuts version, the pineapple version, the watermelon version. They have a sugar cubes and cookie version. There's also a model. So I've asked people which they preferred, the model looking at you or looking down at the mug. Everybody seemed to think the looking down at the mug was better. Anyways, so what I like to do too is you can actually just save all of them. So I'll grab like this one, just save it to my desktop. The pineapple, save that. Watermelon, save that. Sugar cubes, and the model. And then we can proceed to mockups. We'll actually just change the primary photo in Etsy. So now I'm just going to say Hogue Dealer coffee mug. Don't forget, if this wasn't a demo, I would include some tags, but I'm not going to spend time doing that for the demo. $14.99 and $17.99 typically work well. Submit to store. Give that a moment, and eventually it'll let us edit it in Etsy. And actually, while that's generating, let me hop over to Gearbubble, which is another great website for launching some print-on-demand coffee mugs. I'm going to hit Launch Campaign and then Traditional. And then I'm going to leave it on Coffee Mug. And we'll use the standard 11 ounce white because that's what we're actually creating over here in Printful. Upload design. Grab the black Hogue Dealer text. Resize it to look good here. Duplicate image on back. So we're not actually going to sell this through Gearbubble, but we're going to look at Gearbubble's mockups. So you have to type in a campaign title and a URL, which I just key in a bunch of random keys. The URL doesn't really matter. And now that that's launched, we can go back to our Gearbubble home screen. And where we see our mug right here, we can click Add Photos. And then you can click Choose New Image, 1200 by 1200. And it gives us a bunch of mock-up templates to choose from. So ones that I like this one right here with the pens and pencils in it. And boom, it's cranked that out for us right here. And you can just drag and drop that with our other mock-ups right next to the ones from Printful. If we want one more, we could do the maybe the model right here. And then this one can just be add to. Boom. Now if we tab back over to Printful, it looks like it's synced our mug up with Etsy. So I'm going to click Edit in Etsy. And here we have the opportunity to upload our own images. So we can click Add Photo, and we can choose a couple of these to include with our product listing. How about these 4? I think we should have room for 4. There we go, we do. And as they upload, we now get to choose which one looks best as a primary image. I'm thinking maybe this one because of how big it is. So all we have to do is move it over here into this primary image spot. And then if you want to, you can click adjust thumbnail and select how it should be centered. Just like that, we cranked out a bunch of additional non-standard, non-white background thumbnails for our coffee mug. And now I'd like to show you another method of doing this for products that don't generate these great thumbnails for us in Printful or Gearbubble. So if you guys remember, hats are one of my favorite products to sell. Unfortunately, Printful has not built out the hat mockups with as much love as they gave to coffee mugs. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my favorite Yupong 5-panel snapback hat. I'm going to grab the Hogue dealer design optimized for hats. That didn't work. Oh, yeah, it did. Just took a little bit. All right. And because it's optimized for hats, I don't have to resize it. Pick a white thread color. Proceed to mockups. All right. Maybe the red one. No, let's do black. Boom. All right. Hogue dealer snapback hat. And then if I was really going to sell this, I would fill in the tags. But this is just a demo, so we'll skip that. I like to do, let's do $21.99 for a price point. Submit to store. And actually, while we're waiting, we can go into Photoshop and create a new 1200 by 1200 file. And what we're going to do is make this our Etsy primary image, but we're going to give it a cool looking background. So what I like to do is go to pexels.com, P-E-X-E-L-S, link in the description. And here they have free photos. Every single photo you have here is done by like a really good photographer, much better than me. And it's Creative Commons 0 license, so it's free for personal and commercial use. No attribution required. Although they do say if you want to be friendly, give them credit for their photos. So I use this website all the time, especially for my ryanhogue.com website. So what I like to do is just type in like wood. And then look at all these options that will make great backgrounds for your Etsy product. So let's just click this one. I'm going to right click and copy image. Then I'm going to come back into Photoshop and do this in a new. And what I'll do is I want to optimize this to fit the dimensions of our other file. So 1200 is the minimum it needs to match. I've pasted it. I'm going to resize it now to fit horizontally, because with wood you can distort it and it's still, you can't tell that I just forced it to fit the 1200 by 1200. You also don't need to though. If I do back, like this looks just as good, but I'm more a fan of showing more of the wood panels, just personal preference. Now, how do we put our product on here? Well, we go back over to Printful. I'll click edit in Etsy and open that in a new tab. But before we go to Etsy, I'm going to click right here to view the full size thumbnail of the product. Right click, copy image, back to Photoshop, paste. Now the white background obviously looks terrible, so I'm going to use the magic wand tool, click the white background, and cut it. Now, boom, just like that, we've got a great looking thumbnail for Etsy. Now you can get more creative. You can slap like a shop logo on here. You can slap some additional little things in the frame. I've seen people do like jean shorts and I don't know, some flannel and just random things, because you know how Etsy shoppers, they like that more human, informal touch on their products. Now that I have this, I'm just going to save it and come back over to Etsy. And just how we did for our coffee mugs, we just click add photo, double click, and drag and reposition this to the first image. I don't even need to adjust the thumbnail. It looks pretty good as is. If we wanted to, we could zoom it out maybe a little bit. Nope, can't zoom out anymore. But yeah, just like that, now we've got a great looking wood background on our primary thumbnail. So what you can bank on by employing this strategy is that other sellers are just doing this as quickly as possible, and they all look very much the same. When you're looking at search results and there's 30 different products that meet the criteria and you have to choose which one as a buyer to click on, having this different background might give you the edge you need to get that click. And then from there, as long as your product looks good, your design is good, your keywords, your title, etc., you have good shop feedback, hopefully you'll get the sale. And that does it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe for more great content on how to run your Amazon FBA, Amazon merch, or dropshipped print-on-demand business. If you have any feedback or questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Speaking of reaching out to me, please consider joining my Facebook group, link in the description, or join the mailing list at ryanhogue.com. And again, please subscribe to that YouTube channel where I'll be cranking out great content for you as often as possible. I'll see you at the next one.
Wherever she goes, I go, we roll, we go. Flying over cities down to Rio, it's Rio. Love that I feel, oh nothing lasts forever, but I'm down for the minute, so just chill.